Hello students, welcome back to SGC online chemistry classes. Myself Chincholi Sanjeev Kumar. Lecture number 2 on the topic classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Dear students, let's recapitulate in 5 minutes regarding the information what you have collected from the last video. In the last class, in the last video, we have collected information regarding the history of periodic classification of elements. I repeat, we have gone through the origin of the periodic classification of the elements, beginning from Dobereiner's triads to Mendeleev's periodic law. From Dobereiner's triads till Mendeleev's periodic law. So in the Dobereiner's triad, as a recapitulation, he arranged the elements in a triad manner, in a set of 3 elements, such that the atomic mass of the middle element is nearly equal to the arithmetic mean of the other 2 elements, and as a result he gave 3 triads, and later this, which was not gain much attention, then chemists look forward, and later came Newland's law of octaves. In the classification made by Newland with the proposal of law of octaves, how he arranged the elements? He arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses, such that every 8th element possesses the similar property same as that of the first element, which is similar to the repetition of the 8th musical note in the octaves of music. Next, Lothar-Meyer atomic volume curves. What Lothar-Meyer studied, he took the physical properties of elements with respect to atomic masses and obtained a curve, what called as atomic volume curves. So atomic volume, he plotted values of atomic volume, he plotted along y-axis, and the atomic masses of elements along the x-axis. He obtained a curve. From the different curves for the different elements, he noticed some of the elements which are possessing the similar properties, they were going to occupy same position even in a different form of graphs. The elements with similar properties were occupying the same positions at different curves. This was the observation made by Lothar-Meyer, and with that observation he came to a judgment, or he came to the conclusion that the physical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. Then meanwhile, independently, Mendeleev also studying the chemical properties of the different elements, large number of elements with respect to atomic mass, and Mendeleev also come to the conclusion that the chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Lothar-Meyer establishment was on physical properties, periodic functions of atomic mass. Mendeleev's conclusion was chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of atomic masses. What Mendeleev did, he took the contribution made by Lothar-Meyer and made a correction in his statement and gave a final law, a universally accepted law called Mendeleev's periodic law. In the last video, we concluded with the statement of Mendeleev's periodic law, and the law states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. I repeat again, What is the statement of Mendeleev's periodic law? Mendeleev's periodic law states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. Now, in the today's class, this is what a brief summary of the last class. Let continue the continued part. After the establishment of Mendeleev's periodic law, he was successful, and the whole credit of framing the periodic table, constructing the periodic table, that goes to Mendeleev only. Mendeleev, with the help of his law called Mendeleev's periodic law, in some text which was also given as Mendeleev's Lothar-Meyer law also, but popularly which is known when you turn the history of chemistry book, so it is popularly called as Mendeleev's periodic law, as I stated many a times. With the help of this Mendeleev's periodic law, Dmitri Mendeleev constructed a periodic table, and let collect the feature of the periodic table constructed by Mendeleev and what are the merits and demerits, and before we go to modern periodic law. Come on. So, with the help of Mendeleev's periodic law, Dmitri Mendeleev constructed a table called Mendeleev periodic table. Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev's periodic table. Let collect what are the features of Mendeleev's periodic table. He arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses into a vertical groups and a horizontal rows. Vertical columns are called groups, and the horizontal rows are called periods. So he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses in a vertical column. Vertical columns called groups, and horizontal rows called periods. Hope you know the meaning of groups and periods in your earlier study. So you might have asked the question, what do you mean by groups and periods? In a simple way, the vertical columns of the periodic table are called groups, and the horizontal rows of the periodic table are called periods. In the periodic table constructed by Mendeleev, there were 8 groups. There were 8 groups and 7 periods. Don't get confused, I am talking on the periodic table constructed by Mendeleev. Mendeleev's periodic table, which was constructed on the basis of Mendeleev's periodic law, which was consisting of 8 groups and 7 periods. These 8 groups were indicated in the periodic table from the Roman numbers 1, 2, so on up to 8. And 7 periods. Further, each group is divided into subgroup A and B. Each group divided into subgroup A and B till 7th group. 8th group has no subgroups. Remember, 8th group has no subgroups. So this is one of the feature. As I said, the Mendeleev's periodic table consists of 8 groups indicated with Roman numbers 1 to so and so up to 8, 7 periods. Each main group is subdivided into subgroups as A and B. If I take group 1, first A, first B, group 2, first B, first A, second A, second B, so on, third A, third B. Like that, the elements with similar properties were grouped in the subgroups. Then, let collect This periodic table constructed by Mendeleev which was considered a short periodic table, which was considered as the shortest periodic table. Short in the sense, shortest periodic table, which was considered the shortest periodic table with 8 groups and 7 periods. Mendeleev distributed or arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses into a groups and periods consisting of 8 groups, 7 periods. Those groups were indicated by the Roman numbers 1, 2, 3, so and 8, and from group number 1 to 7, each group is divided into subgroup as A and B, keeping the idea similar elements with similar properties were placed in the subgroups. Now let's collect the merits. What are the merits of and the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table before we go to modern periodic law? Come on. What are the merits? The merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Merits in the sense advantages of Mendeleev's periodic table. Number 1, a systematic study of elements was possible. What was the first merit? It was a systematic study of elements. Systematic study of elements was made. A systematic study of elements was made possible by constructing the table. I can say like this. What is the merit of Mendeleev's periodic table? The first merit, by arranging the elements in the increasing order, in the columns, in the rows, giving you a table. What is the first advantage? Systematic study of elements was made possible. How? As the elements with similar properties were grouped together, if the properties of the one of the element is known, the properties of rest other element can be predicted. This is how the systematic study of element was made possible. First merit of the Mendeleev's periodic table. Second, Mendeleev, while constructing the table, he predicted prediction about undiscovered elements. Prediction about undiscovered elements was also considered by leaving some gaps in the periodic table. This is also very, very important. As first point, systematic study of elements was made possible by this table. Second one was very, very important. Mendeleev, who also predicted at that time the properties of the undiscovered element was also considered, as a result of which he left some gaps in the periodic table. Later, not only predicting about the undiscovered elements, he predicted about the properties of undiscovered elements. I can go, even he predicted not only predicting the undiscovered elements, he predicted properties of even missing elements. Properties of missing elements in the periodic table. By indicating by indicating Eka boron, Eka silicon, etc. So the three merits of Mendeleev's periodic table, let's collect once. So first merit, systematic study of element was made possible. Second, prediction about the undiscovered elements at that time. Taking that into consideration, he left some gaps in the periodic table. Third, not only predicting the undiscovered elements, even their properties were also predicted, and which was indicated by the letter Eka B. Eka B, that is Eka B, the discovered element after boron, which was scandium. Eka silicon, the discovered element after silicon was germanium. Eka B means Eka B, after the discovery of the element discovered after boron was scandium, and the element the element to be placed after boron, I repeat, element to be placed after boron was scandium, and the element to be placed after silicon, down the silicon, is germanium, as Eka B, Eka silicon. Now let collect, after collecting the merits, let collect the demerits before we go to modern law, modern periodic law. So what are the demerits? Demerits, same as disadvantages. Demerits are disadvantages. One, uncertainty regarding the placement of hydrogen. Uncertainty for the placement of hydrogen, for the position of hydrogen. Hydrogen atom. The first demerit was uncertainty in the position or for the position of hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom, is it suitable to place in the group 1 of subgroup A, or is it suitable to place in the 7th group? There was no clarity regarding the position of hydrogen atom. This was the first demerit of Mendeleev's periodic table. Second, here similar elements, second point of demerit was similar elements were placed in the different groups. Similar elements were placed, elements with similar properties, I can say, elements with almost similar properties, elements with almost similar properties were placed in different groups. Second demerit, elements with almost similar properties were placed in the different groups. This is the second demerit. If I take an example of copper, regarding the placement of copper and mercury. As you know, it is a liquid metal. Copper is no doubt a metal. So these possess the metallic property, but looking into the placement, copper, which was placed in the first B group in the periodic table constructed by Mendeleev, while the mercury was placed in the second B, though they have the same properties. But as per the basis for the classification or construction was elements with similar properties were grouped, but this was violated. This is the one of the demerit of Mendeleev's periodic table. Come on, I conclude before we go to third point. The second demerit was elements with almost similar properties were placed in a different groups. One such example is copper, mercury. Both possess the metallic. They are supposed to place it in either first B or second B, but were kept in a different group. This is the second demerit. Third property. Elements with no similar properties were grouped in the same group. Contrast to this. Elements with no similarity elements with no similarity were placed in the same group. Example, if you take the first A group of the periodic table, so lithium, sodium, potassium, they were placed in the first A group, first A subgroup, while copper, silver and gold were placed in the first B. The third point in the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table was elements with no similarity. The properties of lithium, sodium, potassium were totally different from the properties of copper, silver and gold. In spite, copper, silver, gold possess the different property than that of lithium, sodium, potassium. In spite, they were placed in the first group. This is the third demerit of the Mendeleev's periodic table. Apart from this, it suffers from the fourth demerit. There was no particular placement for the isotopes. No particular placement for the isotopes. And demerit number fifth one is the rule of Mendeleev's periodic law was violated. As the rule says, elements were arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses, but this rule was violated. This is the one of the major drawback of this table, where if you take the atomic mass of a krypton, atomic mass of krypton is 39.9 unit, while that of potassium, if you take, the atomic mass of potassium is 39.1. 39.9 is the atomic mass of krypton, while that of potassium is 39.1. But if you take the placement, with the example I can go over this point. If you take the demerit number 4, if you take the atomic mass of, not krypton, it is argon. If you take the atomic mass of argon, which is 39.9 unit, and that of potassium, atomic mass of potassium, which is 39.1. Actually, potassium is to be placed first, then the argon, but this rule was violated. Taking into its valency, it is placed in the inert gas column, and this comes in the first group, alkali metals. This is the one of the drawback. And regarding no placement for isotopes in the periodic table. These are the major drawbacks. Looking into these drawbacks, and one more, no proper explanation was given for the cause of periodicity, for the cause of periodicity. Let's recap the demerits once again. Uncertainty regarding the position of hydrogen. Second, elements with almost similar properties were placed in the different groups. Elements with no similarities were placed in the same group. Coming to the rule, the Mendeleev's periodic law was violated based on the atomic mass. The placement of potassium was taken by argon. No placement for the isotopes of hydrogen, carbon, and no proper explanation was given for the cause of periodicity. Just now we have collected the merits and demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. We have covered the merits and demerits of the Mendeleev's periodic table. To overcome these demerits, there was a necessity for the chemist to go for the better one, to go for a better periodic table which can give explanation for cause for periodicity and which is suitable and perfect for the complete classification of elements. And as a result, in the year 1913, scientist by name Henry Moseley gave out a statement, and that statement became a popular law called modern periodic law. Henry Moseley gave out a statement stating that the main basis for the classification of elements is not the atomic mass, but it is the atomic number. What Moseley did, he ignored the main basis for the classification of element according to Mendeleev was the atomic weight. Henry Moseley, with his experimental study, he ignored the contribution of atomic mass, and in place of atomic mass, he said atomic number is the main key point in deciding the properties of elements. It is the main basis for the classification of elements, and gave out a law called modern periodic law. Gave out a law called modern periodic law. During his experiment in the 1913, how Henry came to know as atomic number is the main basis for classification of elements. He studied the frequencies of X-rays emitted by the different metals when they were bombarded with high-speed electrons. As you know, electrons, when they fast-moving electrons, when they hit the metal surfaces, you are going to have the emission of X-rays. What Moseley considered, he took the values of frequency and he found out the square root of, in his experiment, Moseley, in his experiment, what has made him to come to a conclusion that atomic number is the main basis for classification? It is in his experiment, he noted the square root of frequency, which was found directly proportional to the atomic number, where nu is the frequency of the X-rays. Nu is frequency of the X-rays, where nu is frequency of X-rays. He He studied the frequencies of the X-rays emitted by different metals when they were bombarded with high speed electrons. This was the relation he obtained. Strongly, he obtained the square root of frequency of the X-rays by the metals, which was found directly proportional to atomic numbers. Even experimental verification also, further investigation made him to a conclusion that it is the atomic number, the main basis for classification, but not the atomic mass. What he did, he studied the frequencies with respect to atomic number, square root of frequency versus atomic number. He got a straight line, verified, he got a straight line. When the values of nu against atomic number of the different elements were plotted, he got a straight line, which is a verification between frequency, atomic number and frequency, which are directly proportional. Meanwhile, he compared the same square root of frequency versus atomic mass. He did not get a straight line. Thus, he come to a conclusion that it is the atomic number of the element that is responsible for its physical as well as chemical properties, and that made him strongly to propose a law, and that law is called modern periodic law. What is that law called? Modern periodic law. Modern periodic law proposed by Henry Moseley. Modern periodic law proposed by Henry Moseley states that, which is important, modern periodic law. What it states? Who proposed modern periodic law? It was Henry Moseley. So what it states? Physical and chemical properties of elements. Physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. So you will get 1 mark question in the examination. State Mendeleev's periodic law, state modern periodic law. So almost statement remains same except the term atomic mass is replaced by atomic number in the modern periodic law. With this law, Moseley, he constructed a table. With the help of this modern periodic law, he constructed a table, and that table at present is known as the long form of the periodic table, or it is also called as modern periodic table of the elements. This table, what you are observing, it is called modern periodic table or long form of the periodic table. This is also referred as long form of the periodic table also. So what are the features of long form of periodic table? Here you see, As per the statement, physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic number. Here, the elements were arranged in the increasing order of atomic numbers in the form of same in the groups as well as rows. You notice in the Mendeleev's periodic table, there were 8 groups and 7 periods. But in the modern periodic table, with the help of modern periodic law, here you have 18 groups numbering from the number 1 to so and so up to 18 group. You have 18 groups and 7 periods The modern periodic table consists of 18 groups and 7 periods. I repeat, when you compare this periodic table with the Mendeleev's periodic table consisting of 8 groups and 7 periods, but the modern periodic table, which is made or framed out on the statement of modern periodic law consisting of 18 groups and 7 periods. Now, there is no subdivision. You can notice there is no subdivision in the groups. The groups were given their individual identity. No subgroup is made in the modern periodic table. Let's collect the features or the properties of the groups as well as periods in the modern periodic table. Let's start with the characteristics of groups. Characteristics of group. Characteristics of groups. Let's collect the few important characteristics of group. First one, as we all know that there are 18 groups in the modern periodic table. Let's collect the important characteristics. Character number 1. Elements in a group. Elements in a group possess same general electronic configuration. What is the first characteristics of a group? First, element in each and every group you take, group 1 to group 18, whatever you group you take, the element in a group, they possess a general electronic configuration. Example, the elements of group 1, they possess the general electronic configuration of NS1, that of group 2, Group 1 NS1 configuration, NS2 by group 2 elements, like that the elements in a group, they possess the same general electronic configuration. Character number 2, elements in a group. See, you can see, if I take group 13, boron atomic number 5, aluminum atomic number 13. From 5 to 13, there is a gap of 8 elements. From 13 to gallium, gap of 18 elements. When you take any if you take any group, the elements in a group are separated by a definite gap. They are separated by a definite gap of atomic numbers. Second character is elements in a group. Elements in a group are separated. Elements in a group are separated by a definite gap of atomic numbers. Definite gap of atomic numbers. That is, the elements in a group, they separated by definite gap of atomic numbers of 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, which are called magic numbers. Which are called magic numbers. I repeat, the second characteristic of a group. Elements in each and every group, they were separated by a definite gap of atomic numbers. So the gap is by a unit of 2, 8, 18, 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, and these numbers are called magic numbers. These numbers are called magic numbers. Then characteristic number 3. As you go down in a group, from group 13, from boron to, if you take from boron to thallium, what happens? The atomic radius from lithium to francium, atomic radius increases on moving down the group. Atomic radius increases on moving down the group. And character number 4. The fourth characteristics of a group is the elements which are present in a group, they are similar in their chemical properties. Whatever group you take from group 1 to group 18, they are similar in their properties. So group 1 highly reactive, group 18 they are less reactive. All the elements from helium to radon of the group 18, they are less reactive, which are called inert gases. When you take from lithium to cesium except radioactive element francium in the group 1, all are reactive. So the chemical properties of elements in a group, chemical properties of element in a group are similar. Chemical properties of elements in a group are similar due to same number of valence electrons in a shell. Due to same number of valence electron in a shell, the elements belonging to any group, they were similar in property. If I say the chemical properties of fluorine when you compare the chlorine, bromine, iodine chemical properties, which are similar in properties because of as fluorine contains the valence electron 7 in the outermost orbit, the rest all also contains the same number of electron. Group 1, they contain 1 electron in their valence shell. Hence, the chemical properties of elements in any of the group are similar since they contain same valence electrons. So this is what the information regarding the characteristics of a group in the modern periodic table. Let me highlight quickly what are the character after collecting the statement of modern periodic law. Modern periodic table was constructed. The modern periodic table consists of 18 groups and 7 periods. Then what are the characteristics of a group? First point, elements in a group, they have the same general electronic configuration. All the elements in a group have the same general electronic configuration. Second, elements in a group, they separated by a definite gap of atomic numbers such 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32. These are called magic numbers. Then third, atomic radius increases on moving down the group. And the fourth, elements belonging to any group which are possessing the similar chemical properties because of as they contain same valence electron in their outermost shell. Next, let's collect the characteristics of a period. After this, characteristics of a period. Or periods. Let's see, in the modern periodic table, there are 7 periods. In the modern periodic table, there are 7 periods. Numbering from 1 to 7. There are 7 periods. 1 to 7. But they differ in the number of elements in each period. Suppose if you take the first period contains 2 elements. When you go to second period, that contains 8 elements. And the third period contains 8 elements. So, periods 1, 2, 3, they contain respectively, they contain 2, 8 and 8 elements. Hence, the period 1, 2, 3, which are going to called as short periods. They are called short periods. Coming to the fourth period. Period number 4. Period number 5. 4 and 5, they contain 18 elements. Period 4 and 5 contains 18 elements each, which are called long periods. Coming to the period number 6, beginning from cesium. Period number 6 is called very long period. Period number 6, which contains 32 elements, and is called very long period. I'll come back. Modern periodic table consisting of 7 periods. They differ in number of elements in their period. Period 1, 2 and 3, they contains respectively 2, 8 elements, which are called short periods. Period number 4 and 5, they contains 18 elements each, called long periods. Period 6th contains 32 elements, is said to be very long period. Coming to the period number 7. Period number 7 is said to be incomplete period. Period 7. Yet the discovery is under continuation. Period number 7 is incomplete. This is incomplete period. Period 7 is incomplete period. So, and coming to the point of number of elements, why it differ? Why the period 1 contains 2 and why the period 4, 5 contains different number of electrons? Remember, the period number that indicates the energy level or the energy shell n. What period indicates? Period indicates the energy shell, or the period which indicates the energy shell. Energy principal energy shell which is indicated by n. Energy cell which is indicated by n. For the period 1, n value is 1. As n value is 1, number of electrons in that energy level is 2. Therefore, that period 1 contains 2 elements. If you go to the second period, so second period n value is 2, which contains the number of electrons 8. Number of electrons are 8 in the second period, therefore there are 8 elements. In the third also, n value 3, the number of electrons accommodated in n value 3 is also 8, therefore you get 8 electrons in the period number 3. So mainly period indicates the energy shell n, and the number of electrons in a period, this is same as the number of electrons which are present in the energy shells. So after collecting this information, let glance on the properties, characteristics of period. What are the characteristics of period? First one, the elements in a period, in all the elements of a period, maybe a first period or seventh period, in all the elements of a period, the electron enters into the main shell. The electron enters into the same shell, that is same valence shell. Coming to the character number 2, what happens on moving from left of the periodic table towards right, left to right, on moving from left to right, the metallic property in respective period, the metallic property decreases and that of non-metallic character increases. Thus, I conclude second characteristics of a period is the moving from left to right in the modern periodic table, the metallic properties of element decreases while that of non-metallic character increases. Hence, most of the elements of P block are non-metals while that of group 1 and group 2 are metals. Then, character number 3. So, what is the character number 3? If you look into the electronic configuration, number of electrons in the valence shell on moving from left to right. If you take the number of electrons, valence electron in the lithium, it is 1. That of the beryllium, it is different, 2 electron. As the number of valence electron changes on moving from left to right, the chemical properties of the elements also changes on moving along a period. Let me highlight briefly what are the characteristics of a group. All the elements in a period, in all the elements of a period, the valence electron enters into the same shell. And the second is, on moving from left to right, the metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. Point number 3, the third point says that since on moving from left to right, as the number of valence electron changes from element to element, the chemical properties of the elements on moving from left to right along a period also changes. So these are the main characteristics of period. In the next video, we shall go to collect the information regarding classification of elements based on the electronic configuration into S block, P block, D block and F block. S, P, D and F block elements, we shall collect it in the next video. Thank you.